Stop being available to people and things 24/7. Hi guys, it's so good to have you back. I want to talk about something that causes me masses of personal frustration. In 2024, I believe one of our biggest maladies in our society is that we are expected to be constantly available. So, for example, this morning I had some free time and I'm sat down and I wasn't doing anything. Okay, I wasn't doing anything. And when I'm not doing anything, I have to fight this rising compulsion to feel like I'm not being enough, I'm not being successful. And my monkey mind will go back to all the things it thinks it should be doing. So I will sit and I will start feeling guilty. And I will feel like, oh, like I'm not doing anything right now, so I should reply to that text message, or I should send that email, or I should call that person. It's usually involving people, actually, the things that drain me. But there are other things in this as well. When it comes to not taking time for ourselves, we live in a life where we are perpetually busy. And because of phones and technology and social media and people being contactable immediately, even if you're not very close friends with them. These days, you don't need to have someone's phone number to be able to message them immediately. You can message someone you have never met. You guys could find my details somewhere online and message me right now. You could message me on YouTube. You could comment on here. And this desire that we've built in ourselves as a society to constantly be available is really, really unhealthy. If you have free time, we need to get to a place where we are comfortable to just take that free time. And often I do take that time, but I have to work really hard at it. I have to work really hard to push aside the feelings of I should be doing 10,000 other things. And usually, to be honest, when I get to the point where I'm burnt out, which does happen, I go away. I have a motorhome. Me and my son will go away, or go away by myself. I'll go away to the coast or to the mountains, because somehow there's something very symbolic about going into the wilderness. And I know that's not really the wilderness, but the metaphor for that is in my mind. And I feel like it makes it easier for me to give myself permission to not be available. But this is definitely something that is impacting us as a society. And I see it in our young people who have grown up knowing only instant communication through their whole lives. You know, people of my generation and older, we remember the days before you could contact someone by text message, let alone online. So there's almost like a clinging to personal space that we're able to do more easily than the younger generations, because I see this frustration in younger people. Not even a frustration, that's not even the right word. If somebody messages a young person now in 2024, that message is then read and a reply is not sent immediately, that causes deep offense. That's wild. How did we get here? If I'm online, I've had times when I felt like I should change my settings so that people can't see I'm online, that people can't see I'm on WhatsApp or on Facebook Messenger or Instagram or whatever other online platform there is. I have these thoughts like, I should change my settings so people can't see, so there isn't that expectation to reply immediately. No, like, we shouldn't need to do that. If someone messages me and I haven't replied, could be for any one of a number of reasons. It could be that I'm sat here making content. It could be that I'm in a creative flow and I'm trying to think about a project that I'm working on or a course that I'm building. It could be that I'm out with someone else. I'm having some face-to-face time with someone, and I don't sit on my phone when I'm having face-to-face time with people because it's rude. It could be that I'm tired. It could be that I want to think about the answer to the message that I've been sent. It could be that I've had an instant emotional reaction to what has been sent. And actually, I'm aware that I've had that. So I want to give myself, my just human, fallible self, some time to process it in a healthy way and come back with an answer that is going to be more sensible than the answer I can give in that moment. could also be that I just don't fancy talking to that person. It could be that I'm speaking to several other people at the same time. I don't have any bandwidth for another conversation right now. Like, there are so many reasons that I might not be available, but I might be showing online. Also, if you're online and maybe you're scrolling through social media or maybe you're researching something, that's okay. It's okay to have the energy for whatever it is that you want to be doing online and also not have the energy for one particular conversation or any conversations online. And I feel like this is something that we need to talk about more and put in place more. And this is another area where people are not very good at putting in boundaries, me included. And it's really important that we take a look at this and we put those boundaries in for our mental health. It's not healthy to be available to anyone 24/7. And I'm not talking about parents and children. That is probably the only situation where that is a necessity. But even then, you have time where someone else takes on the responsibility for a little while, or maybe they're asleep and you take some time for yourself. You go inward, you ground yourself, you do the other things that nourish you so that you can be a whole person for them again when they wake up or when they come back from the other person. The need to constantly be available 24/7 on social media, studies have shown that it causes depression. It definitely reduces your sleep quality, causes anxiety, it increases overthinking, and it increases our cortisol levels, the stress hormone that we produce, which stops you from sleeping, stops you from relaxing. There are several psychological studies that are out on this topic, and it's something that I feel quite passionate about because it includes boundaries and self care. It can cause us to lose ourselves, to lose our self importance. And while self importance is not a healthy trait to have, the same as anything else when it is overinflated, but it is really important to have enough self care to consciously use social media or online messaging or even on the phone. That's another way this raises its head for me. I often, no, 9 times out of 10, I don't take phone calls because I find them stressful, because I like to be able to think about when I'm going to be available to someone. Now, there are some situations where I will take a phone call. If I'm expecting one, I will take the phone call. There are certain people in my life that I know if they're calling me, there's probably something wrong. There's a need to talk to me straight away and have that immediate back and forth dialogue. But in general, I don't answer phone calls. I don't like them. For me, they feel too imposing on my time. Is that a product of society in 2024? Yes, probably. Would I have felt like that 15 years ago? Probably not. But 15 years ago, we didn't have the ability to message each other instantly in the same way that we have now. If you're a people pleaser, you're probably even more prone to being available 24/7, whether that's online or in person. And it's really unhealthy. It's okay to have free time. I really want to encourage you to lean into having free time. Free time doesn't mean you should then be available to people. I mean, if that's how you choose to spend your free time, that's fine. But it's really important that you're being conscious about how you're using your time. Time is really the only thing that we have. It's the only, for me, how we use our time is the most important exchange of energy that we have. And sometimes we need to use that time to replenish ourselves and to just not be available. It's very healthy to have times in your life where there are no digital devices and you are not available to the digital world at all in any way, shape, or form. But that's a whole other conversation. The 24/7 immediate need for replies to messages, no, that needs to stop. It's not acceptable. Being offended if someone doesn't message you back straight away is not acceptable. Start thinking about all of the reasons that person might not be messaging you back, including the very valid reason that maybe they just don't feel like it right now. And stop taking that personally. Don't let that offend you. Don't let that impact your sense of self worth. Just let it be. send out a message, and you'll get a response when that person feels like they can respond to you. And that's okay, that's healthy. It needs to go both ways. Stop expecting immediate responses, stop expecting people to be available 24/7, and stop being available 24/7. It's really important. 2024 people, we need to stay connected to ourselves, and we need to have some treasured time. And having free time where we're not doing anything and we don't have any expectations of ourselves is really, really important. If you relate to anything that I've said in this video, hit the subscribe button, because this is the kind of stuff that I talk about all of the time. I hope this resonated with you in some way. If it did, hit the subscribe button. This is the kind of stuff I talk about all the time. Leave a comment below and I will definitely get back to you. Have a great day. Take some time for yourself. And remember, it's okay to not be available all of the time.